From upgraded bronze golems to cute little walking mushrooms, here are 84 brand new mobs Minecraft needs to add. First up, we have the hippo.
Big boys. Hey, big boys. I'm a big boy too.
They like to stay by the water, but don't get too close. Just like real-life hippos, they're super aggressive and will attack any boat or player that gets in their water. Want to breed the hippos? Just feed them some glistering melon or a melon block while in water. Your funeral. Another way to die? This guy. He's Swampjaw, a skeletal fish boss mob found in the swamps of the overworld. They like to play a classic game of catch. And by classic game of catch, I mean dropping explosive sea mines onto your head. What, is that not the kind of catch you guys play? You'll have to avoid the bombs at all costs, but they don't drop too fast. And since they're a high-flying mob, a bow would be best at fighting it. But not for the hulking basalt giant. They have a deep hatred for magma cubes and will destroy them on sight. And they're neutral to players, but will mess you up if you attack them. Beat the basalt giant though, and you'll be rewarded tons of XP. He's cool. It will be a nice addition to the game, like the cactum, a spiky yet adorable addition to desert biomes. The little peeps would be led by an elder cactum, who would feature a trading functionality similar to Piglin's. By this, I mean toss them a totem and they might just give you something valuable, like emeralds, or something completely useless, like a copy of Tony Hawk's Skate for the Wii. Oh, bad joke. Let's keep going. The skull would be a small, flying mob found in various biomes throughout the Nether. They'd be hostile and would attack on sight. The skull's AI would be similar to the overworld's Phantom, which means they'd be annoying. Yeah, maybe Mojang shouldn't add this one. This may just look like a house, but it's so much more. Traverse down to its basement and you'll find the Deserted, a sand-based boss mob. They would have 150 HP, and in theory, wouldn't be too hard to defeat. The mob would be able to shoot fireballs at quick speeds, so I hope you've been doing your cardio recently. When fighting the Deserted, use water. This disables it momentarily, giving you time to rough it up. Kill it and it'll drop the sand bucket, a magical item which grants you the ability to fly. This is awesome! A whole new world! Huh? What's that down there? This is the Yeti. Oh, and their baby. They'd live in snowy tundra biomes and would only become hostile if a player gets too close to their babies. Luckily, you can earn their trust through melon slices. Sounds like a pretty good trade to me. Get a baby Yeti to trust you and they'll even defend you once they're fully grown. That's so useful. The jungle skeleton would spawn in the Nether's new biome, Nether jungles. They can spawn with wooden swords, bows, nothing, shields, or stone swords. Another new mob would be the mutant shulker. They're a living fortress and can withstand a high number of hits. The mutant shulker would be able to retreat into its shell, fully protecting itself and regenerating its health while doing so. Once it's out of its shell, get ready for its bite attack. It does 25 damage and can even disable your shield for 8 seconds. You can get your distance to avoid his bite, but then they'll just shoot you with their mutant shulker bullets. They're like regular shulker bullets, but stronger and more erratic. This guy is so tough. The withered forest would be the home of our next mob, the Restless spirit. They'd be a simple creature, flying around and attacking players if they got too close. Kill one, which is easy by the way, and they drop an item that can instantly grow a crimson tree. Cool! This next mob cranks up the cute factor a whole lot. It's the straw golem, and they're more than just adorable. They'll automatically harvest and replant crops for you, and you can even specify where they deliver crops with a simple shift right click. The straw golem loves apples and will follow you if you hold one. They have bellies just like us and become hungry after a few days. Don't feed them and they'll sit and pout. Sounds like me. I want Taco Bell! This guy's called the Frost Giant, the newest member of the hostile mob family. They'd be a mini boss designed specifically for colder biomes, most often spawning in ice spikes. They're most similar to vanilla zombies, but are much more powerful. The Frost Giants have a powerful ground slam attack, inflicting damage and permafrost. Their design is great, and I want them in the game. The Warped Enderman would be a rage-fueled version of its vanilla counterpart, covered in nether wart. They're fast and attack on sight, so make sure to keep your sword out at all times. If you want to cure the Warped Enderman, simply use shears. This adorable little guy is called the Slime Golem. To spawn one in, you'll need to place a carved pumpkin on a packed slime block. Hi, buddy! They're peaceful and harmless, even sometimes running away from danger. They produce slime algae, similar to their snow golem cousins. To pick it up, simply use shears or a silk touch tool. Want to remove their heads? Right-click them using shears. For even more customization, use a honeycomb for a honey-coated look. These little duckies would be a great addition to the game and would include a white duck and a mallard. They would spawn in river biomes and just mind their own business. Do you have anything else to add? Got it! The Ender Golem would be a hulking end mob located inside their very own structure. Get past the hordes of Endermap Terra, and you'll find yourself inside the monster's arena. They have a killer left hook, and will use you as a practice dummy whenever they get the chance. They also have a devastating slam attack, knocking the wind out of you and taking ample health in the process. My favorite attack of theirs is the Void Rune, which shoots out magical end blocks from the ground. They look super pretty, and also mess you up. Take them out, and you'll even get the Void Rune weapon for yourself. This is the evil Direwolf. Just kidding! These big guys are surprisingly non-hostile, unless you're a sheep or skeleton. These guys are massive. Oh my gosh. The direwolf would be found in snowy taigas, roaming and sleeping. They'd follow a strict American diet of meat, 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 and meat. I actually think they're kind of cute. This is the Nether sheep, found in the warped and crimson forests. They'd be omnivores, meaning they would attack other animals in the Nether. Man, watching a sheep attack something is just plain weird. You know what else is weird? Seeing a cow in the Nether. This is the Nether Mooshroom. Unlike the mean old Nether sheep, this mob would be passive. To breed them, simply use Nether wart. And if you want, you can change their appearance by feeding them an opposite piece of fungus. Neat. Oh, hello, your majesty. This is the king. He is royalty, so he'd be found in his own castle. To make it to him, you'll first have to fight through a swarm of guards. After this, the fight with your majesty begins. The king will swing their large weapons at the player, as well as summon bookshelves which shoot books. He can also manipulate the battle arena, removing any additional blocks you place down. That means barricades won't block his attacks. If you see him taking damage at his throne, run away because of this. Once he's defeated, he'll drop his crown. While worn, 2 guards will protect you. Shh, this next little guy is shy, so make sure to be quiet. This is the Lily-Tad, a tiny little swamp mob that enjoys hiding in shallow water. They're so shy that they try to disguise themselves as lily pads, but I don't think they're doing a good job. Want a trophy from them? Their flowers can be sheared. And don't worry, it'll grow back in 15 minutes. Ah! What is that thing? It's the flying pig, a surprisingly passive mob that would patrol the Nether wastes. To breed a flying pig, feed them Nether wart. Another variant would be covered in the stuff and will drop it upon their death. Deer Minecraft. I'd love to see deer added into the game. They'd be simple creatures. Their sole purpose would be to munch on grass and avoid bears. Wait, bears? I don't like bears. Bears would truly be one of the mobs added to Minecraft of all time. Just like real-life bears, don't mess with their babies. They don't like that. Otherwise, you'll be fine, unless you're a deer. Say goodbye to bears and hello to lush caves. The new spawn point of the Void Blossom. They're a grotesque Venus flytrap-like boss mob, and they are not happy to see you. The Void Blossom shoots thorns out of the ground at high speeds, so make sure you jump as you traverse through their boss arena. As you jump, be looking for these bad boys. They're healing plants, and regenerate the big one's health. Remind you of someone? Destroy them, and the Void Blossom will be vulnerable to your attacks, but you're still vulnerable to theirs too. Like their green plant blasts, which send out waves of gnarly poison, or their petal power, which sends out flower petals in a diagonal line. Man, I wouldn't want to meet a boss like this in my game. Fireflies would be another great mob to help illuminate those dark and dreary nights. They'd be found in forests, plains, and swamps. They'd be especially useful when you don't have a torch on you. Meet the M-Body. They want to expand their physical form and attempt to do so by attacking skeletons. And before you cozy up to one of them, they'll attack you too. Take them down and they'll drop soul salt clumps, which can convert rotten flesh back into jerky. On top of that, eat it and you'll be given 10 seconds of speed. I like these guys. It's the Bell Ringer, a spooky, faceless flying mob. They'd wield a magical bell and would use it to hug blue cubes at you. The cubes fly quickly but in the same pattern, so you can dodge them if you jump at the right time. I love this. It's a weird mix between boss fight and parkour, resulting in a lot of fun. It's like jump rope, if the jump rope could kill you. I want this next one in the game so bad. It's the Nightmare, a non-hostile, tameable horse that would be found in the Nether. They'd be omnivores and would hunt skeletons in their free time. I love you. The Nightmare would be able to walk on lava, which would be a huge advantage while traversing through the Nether. To breed them, use blaze rods or fire charges. I need them in Minecraft! Boars would be a neutral mob found in savannas. They only attack and provoke, and will even run away if close to death. And then the mod page says, I wonder what happens if they're struck by lightning. Let's find out.
Whoa! Oh, that's cool. That's fun. Hi, buddy.
This is the Daystalker, a massive godlike boss. They may look intimidating, but that's because they are. Get too close, and the Daystalker will take advantage of their impressive sword skills. Get too far away, though, and you'll learn this boss's true strength. They can throw a variety of fire attacks at you, some from their blade, others conjured by their mind. Some attacks will even explode on impact, creating massive craters. This mob can hold 12 different items and wear armor. Meet the Essentia, a snowy big cat found in various cold biomes around the overworld. Despite their appearance, they're non-hostile to players. They spend their days climbing surfaces, as well as hunting sheep, rabbits, and chickens. I like them. This next mob is asleep by default, but let's wake him up. This is the Idol, an all-knowing, all-powerful golden cube. He'll fly around his arena and attempt to do damage by crashing into you. And don't think you can get too far, since he'll just teleport close to your location. The Idol would also be able to make clones of itself, the only difference being a blue eye. They'll also send Evoker Fangs your way. Make it through this round, and you'll have to deal with more clones. bones, but this time they're identical to the original. They don't attack you, but they make it a lot harder to find the OG. On top of this, the idol will also spawn idol bombs, clones of him with a red eye. Get too close to them and they explode. Next up, the Shroomloin. These little guys may look cute, but they see you as an outside threat. Their home would be the Crimson Forest. Try and destroy it, and they try and destroy you. To neutralize them, simply feed them a different kind of fungus. Upon death, they drop Ascus bombs, which slowly infect anything hit by them. I like the Shroomloin. They're cute and freaky. The sunken skeleton is similar to the drowned, living underwater and having an above-ground counterpart. They were originally introduced in Jungle Awakens, a DLC pack for Minecraft Dungeons. The monster would wield a crossbow. In my testing though, the sunken skeleton wasn't able to get their arrows super far. Sorry buddies. Regardless, these guys are spooky. This is the home of the next mob on our list, the Obsidiolith. It may not look like your average boss, but trust me, it packs a punch. It does so through elemental attacks. Look for these runes on the ground. It means the Obsidiolith is about to strike. As you enter the next phase of the boss fight, they'll spawn multiple smaller obelisks around the arena. They give the boss a great protective shield, so destroy them if you want to kill the big one. And don't get too cozy with the idea of the boss not moving. Occasionally, they teleport into the air and try to body slam you. This is the Spirit Frog, a new variant of the pre-existing Froggy. They'd be found in Soul Sand Valleys. Just hopping around and subscribing to Ziggy. Subscribe. The Spirit Frog would consume magma cubes, which would cause it to drop bone meal. That could be a super convenient way to gather bone meal while in the Nether. On top of that, they're super cute. The Anteater would be a mob with poor eyesight, but an excellent sense of smell. They'd use it for foraging, as well as detecting and avoiding monsters. Grab your jackets, because this next mob would be found in cold biomes. Meet the Night Lich, an undead flying wizard ready to take you down. It possesses the uncanny ability to turn day to night, but its powers don't stop there. It can summon phantoms to do its bidding, and shoot deadly projectiles in your direction. Keep your distance and have a healthy supply of arrows, and you might just defeat this bony boss. If so, you'll be rewarded with tons of enchanted books. The Warpbeetle would be a mob found in warped forests. Surprisingly though, their ancestors would be from the overworld. The Warpbeetle would be a neutral mob to players, but would have a hatred for spiders. Me too, guy. Wanna feed one of the little dudes? Give them chorus fruit. They love the stuff, and will even change colors. Let's keep this going. Hide your prize piggies, because this next mob is the predator of all livestock. It's the Chupacabra. As well as looking terrifying, they can mess up your farm real quick with their agile movement and sharp claws. If these were added to the game, you better believe my farm walls would get a lot taller. I wouldn't want anything like the Chupacabra to get inside. The next mob on our list is the Monarch of Chaos. They'd be a giant royal skeleton wielding a staff. Their name is very accurate. Why? Because this is the most chaotic boss fight I have ever seen. Here's a brief list of some of their powers. Large amounts of extremely deadly lightning, tons of fast-moving projectiles that are super hard to avoid, massive explosions emanating from their body that coat the ground with Ender Dragon fire breath, and weirdly enough, the ability to send aggressive mobs barreling your way, including Big Chungus. This is one of the weirdest mobs I've ever fought. This is a volcanic tortoise aptly named the Cinder Shell. They wander the nether wastes and have a hefty appetite for fungus. If you're heartless enough to kill these cuties, they'll drop a shard of their shell, which you can insensitively use to make a sword. The Cinder Shell can even be hooked up with a cinder furnace, granting the player an unlimited fuel source. Meet the Toxic Slime, which will be found in a new biome called the Toxic Heap. Like most things in the nether, the Toxic Slime would attack on sight. And don't let their size fool you. These little ones can pack a punch, so be ready for a proper fight. It's also important to note that they poison their opponents, so bringing a couple gallons of milk to the nether would probably be for the best. And special thanks to J-Free for a great video showcasing the Incendium mod. Their channel's linked in the description below. This next one, you'll have to see to believe. It's the Eye, a giant eye of Ender that isn't too happy to see you. Okay, sorry, I'll stop. They'll fly around above you, occasionally shooting out a laser beam similar to Guardian. The only way to stop it momentarily is to damage the eye with a bow, so get shooting. As you damage it more, the eye will begin to clone itself. You better have good aim, because the only way you're gonna survive this one is by shooting on target. I like the Eye. I'd love to see what you think in the comments down below. You like ladybugs? You wish they were like 500 times bigger? Then look no further. The Calitro would be a cow-sized ladybug found in mushroom fields. They'd be non-hostile and would live off a steady supply of red mushrooms, round mushrooms, and sugar. Sounds like me when I haven't gotten groceries in a while. Am I right? Anyone? This next mob needs to be summoned. How? I'll show you. First, you need to build a 9x9 platform using any type of blackstone. Next, you'll need 4 gilded blackstone shards, which you can get from trading with piglins. Once you have those, simply put them in shard holders like so, and boom! This is the blackstone golem. They'd be super tough. I'd recommend keeping your distance, but keep in mind, they can huck projectiles at you. He even has a little baby blackstone golem that follows him around. He's evil too. Once his health is low enough, he turns blue. With this, his strength increases. He's scary, but I like him. The Arclight Angel would be an ethereal being sent from the ether. They've been corrupted, and with that, attack any player on sight. The angel would fly high above you, sending shulker bullets and occasionally flying down to hit you. They would sport large amounts of health and would be difficult to strike. The Archelon is a tameable turtle that would be found in deep lukewarm oceans. They would be non-hostile, with a healthy diet of tropical fish, pufferfish, and different vegetation found on the seafloor. Like I said earlier, they're tameable, so by repeatedly right-clicking them, they'll become your buddy.
Be my buddy.
I wish real life worked like that. This is the Infernal altar. Inside it, you'll find the next mob on our list, the Hovering Inferno. They'd be a boss mob similar to the Ender Dragon or Wither, but would actually sport more health than both. To spawn them, simply throw a Nether star onto the center altar. The Hovering Inferno would have multiple phases. In its first, they'd shoot shulker bullets, fireballs, and fireworks at players, each dealing a good amount of damage. They'd also summon minions to do their bidding. Survive this onslaught and you'll enter round 2, where the Hovering Inferno shoots lasers and other obstacles your way. As long as you don't die, you'll eventually win. This guy might be too tough for me. Behold, the true heir to the seas, the Drowned King. They'd be a boss found in ocean biomes, and they wouldn't be pretty, both because of their face and the massive trident sticking out of their chest. They possess dark magic. With it, they can teleport freely. To make matters worse, the Drowned King can summon Drown, doing his bidding and making the fight more chaotic for the player. And booyah! This next creature is the catfish. They'd be found in murky water and are a decent bit larger than their fish brethren. I love their design, and I think they'd make a great addition. Fun fact, I'm allergic to catfish in real life. Okay, look, I'll admit it. I want the Nether to be a little easier on me sometimes. That's where Netherfish would come in. First up, the Glowdine. As you can probably tell, they have the texture of glowstone. Catch and eat one, and you'll even be granted glowing for a brief period of time. I need the Glowdine. So useful, unlike bats, which are useless. Enter Nether Bats, which would actually defend the player once tamed.
I think this is awakening a phobia I didn't realize I had. Look how freaky they look.
The problem? They're hostile by default and will bite your ankles while you try to make them an ally.
Don't walk off the edge. Oh, stop.
Once they're tamed, though, you can fly around on their back.
Oh, this is so cool.
Nether Bats would have 25 health, 4 attack strength, and could even hold 9 inventory slots.
Wait, can they wear armor? Can they wear horse armor?
Whoa, I had no idea. That's so sick. Meet the Dame Fortuna. They fly above the ground and would be an extremely difficult boss to face. It's recommended you fight them with enchanted diamond armor. And here's why. It's homing missile cubes, which are red objects that are quick and track you with ease. They're clamp traps, extremely similar to Evoker Fangs, or a more wide area of effect attack, where Dame Fortuna casts out a large amount of its red cubes at you. Don't mess with this one. The Soul Reaper would be a freaky upgraded wither skeleton that would spawn in Soul Sand Valleys. They would be able to shoot you with withering, as well as do high amounts of damage with their netherite sword. Just like normal skeletons, I'd recommend carrying a shield into battle with these guys. Next, this bronze behemoth is called an automaton and would replace iron golems as the protector of villages. I'm so sorry, Mr. Golem.
Just go away! I want to be left alone!
The advanced robot would wield 2 bronze hidden blades, kind of similar to those found in the Assassin's Creed games. Similar to iron golems, the automaton has visual indicators of its health level, with steam emitting from its body as it takes more damage. Luckily, they can be repaired by giving them bronze. Our next mob isn't so lucky though. Don't you wish the Nether was more difficult? No, absolutely not. Say you want it to be more difficult. Who are you? That's classified. The Lava Scorpion would be a creepy, crawly, pincer-based mob found roaming the Nether Wastes. They'd be a mini-boss, but don't let that title fool you. They're still super powerful. The Lava Scorpion's main attack would be a fire projectile, which they can hurl at you in quick succession. I'd recommend fighting this guy with a shield. These Endwells may look scary, but they're totally harmless. They'd roam the void of the end and be striped with mystical-looking insignias. Their markings beg the question, were they born or created? Another cool feature of the Endwells? They can be tamed. Just grab some chorus fruit and a saddle and you're good to go. Next up, the Bahamas! The Necromancer is another mob Minecraft should add to the Nether. They'd spawn in fortresses and have a high likelihood of inflicting withering on their opponent. They'd be difficult to fight, but defeat them and they'll drop rare enchanted books. Seems worth it to me. What do you think? The next mob on my list is a massive, terrifying warrior, the Returning Knight. They'd tower over all other creatures in Minecraft. The boss would have 300 HP and multiple different attack styles, all of which do extreme damage. The first is a summon ability called Children of the Grave, which summons multiple minions to fight you. On top of this, one is a healer, restoring any of the knight's lost health. Kill them first! Another attack is Obliterate, a massive ground slam that does a large amount of damage. This one is scary. His final attack is called the Eruption. If you see him gearing up with his weapon, run away. If too close, you'll be sent flying into the air. Defeat him, and you'll gain access to his awesome weapon, the Nightfall. The Vulture would be found patrolling the skies of savannas and deserts. Although they attack zombies at night, hey, that's pretty nice. They also steal items from players if on low health. Talk about kicking me while I'm down. Similar to the Glowdine, another netherfish would be this little guy, the Lava Pufferfish. They would be similar in functionality to their overworld counterpart, with one major difference. Eat one and suffer the effects of withering for 15 seconds. Yeah, that sucks, but if you're completely out of food, it isn't a horrible option. The next fish on my list is the Fortress Grouper. As you can probably tell, they'd be larger than the rest of the fish. As well as being a solid food source, the Fortress Grouper would give the player absorption. What do y'all think? Do you want to see netherfish in the game? The next mob on our list is super freaky. The terrifying Queen Bee. They'd spawn in and nearby flower forests. The boss would use her massive stinger to damage you and any other players. Try and avoid that at all costs. She is a Queen Bee though, so her main strategy would be sending her minions after you. They would be summoned almost constantly, making her boss fight beyond chaotic. Defeat her and she'll explode into a pile of honey. This is the Zebra. Another mob Mojang needs to add into Minecraft. They'd be the Savannah's horse and would too be tameable.
Oh, that was fast. Hey, yay, buddy.
Good luck catching them though, since they have a propensity to run away. Tame them though, and they'll be faster than your average horse while in water. The Hydrogen Jellyfish would be a large passive mob that would roam multiple biomes throughout the Nether. Despite their large size, these guys would only have 1 HP. Hit them though, and they explode. I'm gonna keep my distance from them. Everyone, meet the Ender Guardian. This gargantuan guy would be another formidable foe in the End Dimension, found in End Cities. Watch out for their primary melee attack, the Ground Slam, or their Uppercut, which does more damage than the previous attack, but is also slower. But don't worry, that's it. Huh? What's that? Oh, that's not it? Okay. The Ender Guardian would also be able to shoot out waves of shulker bullets, inflicting damage and sending you into the air. Next up, not a new entity, but more mob variations, like chickens, which could come in amber, bronze, gold crested, midnight skewbald, or stormy varieties. Or cows, which can now be seen as ashen, cookie, dairy, pinto, sunset, umbra, and woolly. I love these. What do they say about variety? It's the spice that you put in Minecraft spaghetti? Something like that. This is the Blaze Guardian. Recognize it? They look similar to the hovering Inferno from earlier. Yes, but they were also in the 2017 mob vote and later featured in Minecraft Dungeons. They would behave similarly to Blazes, but would deal higher amounts of damage. On top of this, they would explode if you got too close. This is the End Sentinel, an ancient mob used by the ancient builders to protect End cities. They've long been abandoned, but many can still be found throughout the End. They're a ranged mob, so you won't have to worry about any close-range melee attacks. Long range is a different story though. The Endstone Sentinel will shoot ender shots, which make you levitate. By default, they don't move, but will occasionally teleport on top of the nearest player. They may not seem too interesting, but their drops are, like the Void Pearl, an upgraded version of the Ender Pearl with 300 uses, or the End Porter, which pulls nearby mobs into the area you right-click. Giraffes would be another cute addition to Minecraft, and they make sense in the game too, right? Savannas are too sparse. Give us giraffes! According to the Naturalist page on Modrend, giraffes are gentle giants. Apparently, you can even feed them a golden apple and ride them. Oh, this is awesome! While doing so, your map is greatly expanded.
I'm gonna ride this giraffe as long as I can.
But only for 30 seconds. Want some more long-necked kiddos running around? Use hay bales. Welcome to the world, guys! This is the Netherite Monstrosity, another mob I'd love to see added into the Nether. To find them, you'll have to do quite a bit of searching. Where is this guy? Eventually, you'll arrive at the Soul Blacksmith. The monstrosity would initially be asleep, but would jolt awake upon you entering. He would specialize in ground pound attacks, but don't think you can get too far away. If you do, he'll spit lava at you. Here's another cute little frog. It's the Crimson Frog. Not surprisingly, they'd spawn in the Crimson Forest. And where their overworld brothers and sisters drop Froglight, the Crimson Frog would drop Shroomlight, which, honestly, isn't that great. Shroomlight spawns naturally. Oh well, can't win them all. The Frostbitten is a variant of Minecraft Zombie, with one big difference. They're as cold as ice. Literally. They're created when a zombie dies in powdered snow, but it should be noted that this is dependent on the game's difficulty. These hypothermic undead attack burned on sight. What is a burned, you ask? Keep watching and find out. Meet the Decaying King. Oh, nice to meet you, sir. They'd spawn in the Decaying Kingdom, a structure generated above lava lakes around Y level 32. This scary boss would have 800 HP and would sport 5 different attacks. Fire Barrage, where the Decaying King would shower you in fire, Sword Slam, a quick and dangerous move that can reduce your hearts in seconds, and Spin, which is exactly like it sounds. This guy will be super tough to fight, but trust me, it would be worth it. Kill him and he'll drop his sword, the Darkened Blade, his heart, and his Lord Soul. The Darkened Blade has a super unique design and would feature its own set of powers. The Piglin Jockey would be a new spawn possibility in the Nether. They'd be extremely dangerous and would have added speed thanks to their noble steed. Some Piglin Jockeys will even spawn as Wither Hunters, wearing a wither skull skeleton skull and enchanted golden equipment. They'd hang out with 3 other minions and would attack on sight if you're not wearing golden armor. Sorry guys, I forgot my boots at home! The ignited revenant would be a distant cousin to the blaze, but would be much more dangerous. Just gonna try and sneak past them. Almost there. The boss mob would have a close-range spinning attack, which could deal multiple hits in a few seconds. Or Ashen Breath, a ranged attack that would deal damage and blind players. My eyes! If that wasn't metal enough, their final attack would be the Bone Storm, which would, as the name suggests, shoot bones at you. You ever want a massive godlike hand in Minecraft? Oh, just me? Okay. This is the Nether Gauntlet, a terrifying boss that would just randomly roam the Nether. Its primary attack is a Flying Fist, which deals explosive damage upon impact. On top of this, the Nether Gauntlet fires a laser out of its eye, so make sure you stay on your toes. To damage or kill the thing, you'll have to go for its eye. It won't be easy though. This is the Burn, and they're produced by a zombie dying in lava. The mob also has 2 other variants. The Obsidian, which happens when a burn makes contact with water, and the Crazy, which is triggered by the burned being on low health. When slain, these fiery zombies drop magma blocks and magma rotten flesh, which can be used as a fuel source or it can be eaten. Careful though, you do risk being set on fire. Ever want a giant version of a Piglin that would just randomly spawn? Oh, you don't? Oh, okay, let me just delete this part from the Piglin Beast would be a giant version of a Piglin and would randomly spawn while in battle with his piggy friends. They'd wield a spiked club and love swinging the dang thing. Good luck fighting this one. This is the Naga, a freaky deaky snake skeleton monster. They'd roam bastions and would be another obstacle alongside Piglins. Similar to Withers, they shoot projectiles that give you withering. Now just deleting these guys from my memory. Next, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. This is the Lava Squid, a flying mob that would be found patrolling the Nether Wastes. They'd spawn in large groups and by default would just mind their own business. Feeling feisty? Oh yeah. Attack them and they'll fight back. But be careful. They alert any nearby lava squids, ganging up on you and shooting fireballs. Kill them and they'll drop blaze powder and magma cream. Ignis would be a boss designed specifically for the Nether, and it wouldn't be easy. They'd spawn in their own arena and would have 450 health points and 10 armor. He has a variety of attacks, many of which set you on fire. This guy is next level. I need him in Minecraft.